Hey, it's Sunday, 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 and I felt like I needed to say 3 Sundays because we've actually got 3 topics that we're going to talk about tonight. So, who else snuck and went to a meeting early to hear about Freestyle? Hey, Sheila. Yeah, I did. So, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But first, I want to say, hope everybody had a great week. And hey, Casey, hope everybody had a great week. And we'll talk about our discussion from last week here in just a second. Hey, Kim. But apparently I have been remiss. Hey, Kathy. Apparently I've been remiss in my due diligence, telling everybody what we're doing here. Hey, Christine. She's from New Jersey. And hey, Joyce. Hey, Cynthia. So in case y'all hadn't already caught on, if you're watching this later, this is a live chat. And today is Sunday, obviously. And it is December the 3rd. It's also a supermoon. Hey, Karen. Hey, Lori. Hey, Loretta. Oh, and Lori's so sweet. She says, hi, beautiful. Yeah, I'm sweaty. So notice the wavy hair. It's because I'm sweaty. Hey, Sybil. Hey, Donna. So, yeah, today is Sunday, December the 3rd. It's a supermoon. In case y'all hadn't looked outside, we have 16-foot tall windows, and so I've got a great view of the moon right now. Hey, Pat. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Paula. And hey, Kim. And hey, Jennifer. So for those of you watching tonight, you're watching this live, and so I am able to interact with you as much as I can, talk and read what you're saying at the same time. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Margaret. Hey, Jennifer. And hey, Destiny. Yeah, Destiny's back. And hey, Cheryl. And Cheryl, guess what? I'm going to need a timekeeper, so you can be my volunteer here in a few minutes. Hey, June. And hey, Carol. So for those of you not watching on Sunday, December the 3rd. This was a live chat, and so notice I'm talking to people. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, if you don't like the live chat format, so sorry, move along. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Tara Lynn. Am I saying that right? And it's Tara Lynn's first time here, and it's T-E-R-Y-L-Y-N. If y'all want to tell them hi, tell her hi. Hey, Judy. Hey, Janet. Hi, Lori. Oh, Lori's saying hi to everyone. Sorry. Hey, Kathy. And hey, Donna. Oh, yep, and Donna says more decorations are up, I see. Yes, so, of course, I hit the Hobby Lobby 50% off sale on Black Friday. Casey and I did, and I've got those put up. Oh, and Kathy says she can't see the full moon because it's cloudy there. Lori. And hey, Melissa. Lisa said it reminds her of Romper Room. Yeah, so Sally, that usually watches, says the same thing. And hey, Karen. So I want to say, hey, Kim. Hey, Robin. So everybody calm down about the new program. We're only going to talk about it for 15 minutes. Seriously, it's okay. 15 minutes. And the reason that we're only going to talk about the new program for the last 15 minutes, so you have to sit through the whole first 45 minutes. Hey, Mary. But the reason that that we're only going to talk about it for the last 15 minutes is because I want everybody to attend a meeting. I want everybody to attend a meeting this week, if it's at all possible. And hey, it's Tedders. Okay, hold on. We have to sidetrack here. So Tedders says, hey, everybody, I just made it home. Thank you for the thoughts and prayers. So Tedders has been trapped at the hospital again. She had an infection from her back surgery. And Tedders, you'll have to remind us, how long ago was that? Because it seems like it's been a while, maybe 5 or 6 weeks. So I'm sorry you're still continuing to have trouble. But super glad to see that you're here. Super glad to see that you busted out of the mean old hospital. Yeah, so we're all super glad you're here. So this is why I need a timekeeper. Oh, and I'm sorry, the part that I was remiss on was telling people how to find this on YouTube later. So, if you want to find all of this later, my blog is www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. 4 months. I'm sorry, Tedder says it's been 4 months. How have I already lost 4 months worth of time? That's like 4 times as long as I just said. Yeah, so that's, 16 weeks. Lordy girl, okay, yeah. No wonder you're frustrated with this. 4 months? That's crazy. But anyway, so, yeah. So thank you for posting that, Casey. So if you want to watch this later on my blog, it's www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. And Cheryl says she's got the time. So Cheryl, I need to know when it's 8:30 because we're going to talk about last week. Oh, and Taylor put up the blog for me too. Thank you. So we're going to talk a little bit about last week and what's going on with last week. We're going to spend about maybe 30 minutes. Of course, part of that 30 minutes will be us chit-chatting. But, and hey, Kathy. So, hey, Sandy. But anyway, so we'll spend about 30 minutes doing that, and then we're going to spend 15 minutes talking about tofu. So for those of you who are frightened by tofu, you're going to get over it tonight. And then we're going to spend the last 15 minutes talking about the new program. And the new program is called Freestyle. So we had heard that correctly. But anyway, so real quick for the people that are new, the blog, we've already posted that twice. Hey Georgianne, if you need to watch this later, you can watch it here on Facebook. So we're on the Facebook page right now for the live chat, and it'll be posted here on the page. And so it's always available here on the page. It'll be on YouTube, and if you just go to youtube.com and search for If You Have an Egg, or do youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg, you can find them that way. And hey Lisa and hey Mary, you can find the chats that way, and all of the chats are listed there. And so I know some people sit and binge watch them, which I think is hilarious, because I do that with Netflix videos, not with me videos. I can't imagine how bored you must be to sit and watch. I mean, an hour's bad enough to watch hours of this. But anyway, so yeah, so youtube.com. Also on Pinterest, I'm on Pinterest. If you search If You Have an Egg, and on Instagram, If You Have an Egg. So I post things a lot more quickly on there. So like as I'm making things and as I'm, you know, making meal ideas, all of the meal ideas go on Instagram and they all go on Pinterest. And if you go on Pinterest, and Sybil says she used to binge watch me. It must have been when she had a, Sybil, you must have had a sleep issue back then. But anyway, like you needed something to put you to sleep. But anyway, but if you go to Pinterest, they're all divided by points, values. Obviously, I will be updating everything to the new points values, because guess what, I get to start all over again. So as if I didn't already have enough to do. Yeah, Melissa says she binge watched me when she first found my videos on YouTube. And hey Sonia, that was very good to see you today at our meeting. So Sonia snuck in and went to well, I don't know if she snuck in, but yeah, Karen and I snuck in and went to the Sunday meeting today. Okay, so I'll sit here and talk about that all night and we won't get to anything else. And so first thing I want to know is, do we have any brand new Weight Watchers people here? Because this is going to get a little wild and it's going to get a little confusing. So, okay, and Lisa says she's on Android, and how can I get a full screen? I have no idea. Can anybody help? Can anybody help? I have no idea how to do that. And hello Barbara, hello Karen, and hello Sherilyn. So I'm going to get started talking, but what I want to know first is, are there any brand new people? Like this is your first time on Weight Watchers, it's your first week on Weight Watchers. Okay, I would take first month, but you've just recently joined Weight Watchers. Give me a thumbs up if you are brand new, if you're brand new to Weight Watchers. And I'm asking that because I'm asking, oh, okay, Mercedes is brand new to Weight Watchers. I'm asking that because we're going to be talking fast. So I want to make sure that all the new people know that we're having a live chat next Sunday night. Next Sunday night is December the 10th. And it's still going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And I had to tell somebody earlier that 8 o'clock Eastern time is 7 o'clock Central. But I had to think about it a minute. Of course I know that. So it's 8 o'clock Eastern time. Hey Diane. So it's 8 o'clock Eastern time. And hey Barbara, thanks for helping. So it's 8 o'clock 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central time. And that would be what, 5 o'clock Pacific, I guess. And Judy says she's carrying me around while she's cleaning up after dinner. Way to multitask. Good job. Way to use your time. We talked about time a couple of weeks ago. So brand new people, if you're brand new to Weight Watchers, we just started a new program called Freestyle, and it just started today. So I don't want y'all to be confused because we're going to be talking about, this is going to be like all over the planet because it literally just started today. So if you, oh, I'm sorry, I was talking about the live chat. So if you're brand new, or if you're restarting, or if after you go to your meeting this week, and hey Nancy, after you go to your meeting this week, because remember, I want everyone to go to a meeting this week if you can, a physical meeting if you can. But if you're brand new, if this is confusing, or if you left your meeting thinking, I'm not even sure what they said, you know, what we're supposed to be talking about, we're going to do a live chat next Sunday. I mean, like we do every Sunday, but we're going to do one next Sunday. That is December the 10th. That'll be our 50th chat. Woo, 50. So it'll be our 50th chat, and we're going to be doing it live from Disney. So as a lady that I used to work with, Patsy, used to say, if the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, then yeah, then I'll be at Disney next Sunday. And so if anybody is in the Orlando area and they want to go, oh, and Kathy wants to know if she can go to a meeting before her weigh-in. Yes, you can. You can go to a meeting before your weigh-in. And somebody remind me, okay, here, I'm crossing my fingers. Somebody remind me to come back to that. But so when, and yes, Sybil, about the online kiddos can go to a free meeting. Yes, I promise we will loop back around to that. So, but next Sunday night is our 50th. And again, in the wise words of Patsy, and her husband's name was Cotton. Honest to goodness, that was his given name. But anyway, we will be in Orlando, and we were gonna try and go to Disney Springs for the 50th. But my husband decided he had other plans. He actually bought me a new toy that we'll be playing with while we're at the campground. So new people, confused people, anybody who just wants some questions answered about the new program, by then I will have a whole week under my belt, and y'all know me, I'm gonna dissect this and I'm gonna extract all the information, and I'll have it chopped, diced, smothered and covered, whatever, and ready for y'all for next week. So next week's chat, December the 50th, if you happen to be in Orlando, we will be at the campground. You can go, you can't park at, if you want to come see me, let me know. You need to private message me. We can't freak my husband out if a bunch of people show up. So I think Debbie, I haven't told you yet that I'm gonna be, that will be at the campground. But Debbie, if you still wanted to come by, you can no longer park at the Fort Wilderness campground. You have to park somewhere else. So even if you wanted to park at Disney Springs or something, you can take Disney transportation to Fort Wilderness. You just need to be there well ahead of the chat. Like I'm gonna say, probably need to plan on arriving, I don't know, maybe an hour before the chat, just to make sure, just, you know, with the transportation. But if you're coming though, again, please let me know. Please private message me, because I can't have a whole, I mean, I don't expect there to be more than maybe a person or two. But would that not be hilarious if like 20 people were, you know, were walking down the campsite? Plus I need to tell you what loop number, or what campsite we're in, what loop we're in. But wouldn't that be hilarious though if all of y'all converged on us at one time and my husband was like, what on earth, what is going on? Okay, so we're gonna come back around to what my fingers were crossed about. Well, the first thing is, yes, everybody, you know, you can tell we love to camp, and you can see, hold on, let me get my finger in the right place. So that's where we're going. That's where we go, yeah, all the time. But we love to camp. So there's our camper. Yeah, and so there's my little bit of Christmas that's above the kitchen area. My husband has been working on his thing this year and now he went from one to all of a sudden we have two of them going. We've got a Christmas tree ladder. So we don't even have a Christmas tree. That's the only tree that we have in the loft. Instead, we have two Christmas tree ladders, and one of them is going to be here in the loft, and one of them is going to the campground. Okay, so I'm going to end up talking about that all night. Who remembers what we talked about last week? So last week, if you went to your meeting, and I don't still have it down here, but last week we were still talking about holiday things, and we were talking about, you know, staying on track with the holidays. But one of the things that we talked about last week was that we talked about, because remember, I do not work for Weight Watchers. They don't pay me. I just love this. So, you know, so I do this out of the kindness of my heart. We were talking about being thankful. Oh, yep, Nancy's right. We were talking about being thankful and what things you were thankful for, and you all posted so many of them, and thank you so much for posting all of them. I haven't had a chance to go through and actually like all of them. I've read almost all of them, but I haven't had a chance to go through and like them. So as I'm listening to that, then we'll be doing that. And yes, Mary is correct. It's the three things that you're just name three things that you're thankful for. Y'all can still do that and still keep those coming, because I think it's just a great grounding, reminder. I saw several people last week got out something that would, speaking of being grounded, something that would keep them grounded, just a little reminder. We talked about having, just like a stone in your purse or like in your pocket, or, something just to keep you centered and to keep you grounded. We talked about my charms, which, by the way, I got the new charm tonight, and do you think I thought to bring it up here with me? No, but it's for the new Freestyle program. So yeah, and it actually says Freestyle on it. So I have that now, but I keep my charms on the outside of my purse on a much sturdier hook than the one that was provided, because that one with the little balls on the ends falls apart. So ladies, just gonna say, don't use the round one that has the little balls on the end if you're gonna be walking around with it much, because those will come off and you'll lose your charms. But so I put mine on a sturdier one. But when I'm out trying to make a choice, if I'm, and it's, look, I know people think well, they may not even notice I'm doing it, but I'll reach down and kind of fondle my charms and kind of make a chinging noise, to remind myself, hey, keep going. You don't need to stop at Ben & Jerry's. You don't need to stop at, you don't need to stop in that donut shop or whatever. Let's just keep, let's keep going and keep moving. So that's one of the things that I used to keep me grounded. We also talked about, last week we also talked, just kind of something that I threw in, is we also talked about things that can happen to your body over the holidays that are not really a weight gain. And does anybody remember how much weight I said that we could gain just in water weight? It was a lot. So, and I do have a point. I have a point in that. So this week, so during the week of Thanksgiving and the week after Thanksgiving, we ate out a lot. We ate things that we don't normally eat. I didn't do too badly on my points, but because I ate a lot of things that I don't normally eat, I consumed a lot of extra sodium. And I know we've already had this discussion, yeah, and Nancy and Carla are right around it, and Lynn. So we've already had this discussion many times, and Lisa, that my parents both have issues with retaining extra fluid. My dad was on dialysis for a couple of years. He has heart disease, and he tends to retain water. He's got hypertension and things. And my, hey, Betty's back. She's been sick. Oh, and Barbara said 60. No, Barbara, not 60. Yeah, and I went to brunch with Casey on Black Friday, but I consumed a lot of things, and we've been eating out a lot. And even though I've done okay on my points, I have been consuming foods that I don't normally consume. So last week we talked about this. You can actually just your tissues, your joints, your body cavities, things like that, can hold between 5 and 10 pounds of extra water. And so what I did last week, because I was feeling puffy, I mean, I could feel it. I could feel puffy. My Fitbit was tight. And y'all know, if you've been watching me for very long, you know that my Fitbit is my, kind of my monitor. That's what I go by, is if I can move my Fitbit freely, then I know I'm doing pretty good. If it starts to get tight, then I've either got a puffy issue, I'm retaining too much water, or I've, actually gained some weight. So just remember, I don't want anybody to give up in between now and the new year thinking, well, that's it. I gained 5 to 10 pounds, so forget it. I'm just going to stop, and I'm going to start all over again on January 1st. So no, please don't, because it's highly likely not real weight. And even if it is, you can get back on track now. I promise, when we talk about the new program here in the last 15 minutes, I think y'all are going to be really happy. So what I did, because I was feeling puffy, I was feeling bloated, my Fitbit was, was snug, my rings were tight, so I spent from Sunday of last week, from our chat last time until today, I ate things like grapes. Remember we talked about high water food, so I ate things like grapes, a lot of fresh vegetables, a ton of fresh vegetables. I ate a whole lot of things that were full of water, and I poured chug water. Y'all can ask Casey how many times I had to run to the little girls' room at work. So that first few days, when you're kind of getting rid of it, kind of flushing it, you're going to be running, but I promise it slows up after that. But did that all week, and I've been following Freestyle for the last 3 days, and when I weighed in today is not my normal weigh-in day. I normally weigh in on Tuesdays. So a week of doing this kind of sodium detox, flushing it out with some good water and some good food, and then following Freestyle for 3 days. Guess what? At my weigh-in today, 2 days early, down 2.8 pounds. Yeah, so it works. Seriously, it works. Okay, so that was last week. That was what we talked about last week. Now, last week, if you attended a meeting, if you went to a meeting last week, give me a thumbs up. Okay, actually, I think y'all are already doing thumbs ups because of the 2.8 pounds. So if you went to a meeting last week, do a heart. So if you actually attended a physical meeting last week, do a heart. The weekly for last week, hey Brandy, the weekly for last week looks like this. And yes, I know it's backwards. YouTube people, it's backwards. You don't need to tell me. And I got a thumbs down last week on YouTube. Don't know who that was that gave me a thumbs down on YouTube. Looks like a whole lot of people went to a meeting last week. So going to a meeting the week of Thanksgiving, y'all get like, if I had Bravo stickers to hand out, bravo to all of you all. Yeah, high fives all the way around for going to a meeting last week, the week of Thanksgiving. Or the week after Thanksgiving. So this was the weekly for last week. And remember, if you didn't get your weekly, you can get another one the next week. Some leaders keep them around for a couple of weeks. Like I think Gwen she had the last 3 weeks, I think, out. So if you didn't pick up your weekly last week, go ahead and grab one the next time. And then, yeah, and Amy says she's lucky because her meetings are at work. Yeah, so you kind of have to go. But go ahead and grab one of those. And don't forget, you can get them online. So if you're an online member, and thanks for the high five back, Mary. So, oh, it's 8. Yeah, and Cheryl's running, telling me it's 8:20, so I'm going to talk fast. And Christine only gained a half a pound after Thanksgiving. That's awesome. But so, what was I going to say? Anyway, so grab a weekly if you're online, or if you missed it. Oh, Brandy lost 3.4 after Thanksgiving. Whoa! Wow. Everybody congratulate Brandy. It's Brandy with an I. That's awesome. But so if you didn't get it, or if you're online, you can get these online too. You just go to weightwatchers.com, and then you can go to the weekly there, and you can print it off as a PDF. It's easier to find though if you get it the same week. Okay, and why a sad face? So who did a mad face? Okay, don't do a mad face. If Sally's here, yeah, we only do here on Facebook. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, you can't see it, but we only do thumbs ups and hearts and smiley faces here on Facebook. Yeah, no frowny faces. There's no reason for frowny faces. Okay, so last week we talked about planning for the holidays. So, because we just had a holiday, but we're already back around to another holiday. And so Thanksgiving is the #1 day that people in the United States consume food. So that's our biggest food consumption day of the whole year. And remember what we said. Okay, and Joyce said it was an accident. It's okay, Joyce. I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, because if Sally was here, she would be thumping you on the head, but it's okay, honey. I understand. I've accidentally done it before too, or I've accidentally sent one of those gift things on Facebook that wasn't the one that I meant to choose. Be really careful doing that. But anyway, so we just had a holiday. Oh, and 126 people are watching. Awesome. Thank you, Christine. So we just had a holiday, and we just had the #1 day that Americans consume food. And do y'all remember what #2 is? It wasn't Christmas, which is the next one coming up. For me, it's the next one coming up. It was Super Bowl Sunday. So we will be, hey, and Lacey just tuned in, and she said, did I miss much? No, Lacey, I was just babbling. I was babbling about last week. So yeah, Super Bowl Sunday is the second biggest day that people consume in the United States, consume food. So, yeah, and Carol says she's online only and that we are her meeting. Yay, we're happy to be your meeting. There's 129 of us right now. Wow, there's 129 of us with you right here, Carol, in your meeting. So, anyway, so for me, the next holiday is Christmas. Do any of y'all celebrate, what other holidays do y'all celebrate? Because I know not everybody that's watching right now celebrates Christmas. So what other holidays do you celebrate? And if I only talk about Christmas, forgive me, because that's the only one I know. And my husband and I had this long discussion the other night. So Hanukkah lasts for, how many days does it last for? Somebody help me out here. Is it like 8 days? I'm going to embarrass myself. I don't even know. However many days Hanukkah lasts for. Are y'all expected to eat like this every single day? Or is there like one big day? Or is there like one day? 8. Okay, woo, yeah, I was right. Okay. Or is there one day? Are y'all expected to eat a big meal or to get crazy 8 days? Or is it just one day? Oh, and Mardi Gras in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's got to be a problem for some people. So yeah. So forgive me if I just talk about Christmas, because again, that's the only one I know. And hey, Kathy, that's the only one I know. So, yeah, Casey, I'm sorry, I meant holidays in December. But so anyway, so there are all these events coming up. So even if you don't celebrate Christmas, or you're not celebrating Hanukkah, or you're not celebrating, something specific, there are birthdays. There are, there are a lot of other things that people are celebrating this month, and you're going to be inundated with this. So according to our weekly, you got to get ready. It is the season. It is the season. Whatever season it is that you're celebrating, everybody around you is celebrating something too. So it is the season. It's a time for parties. It's a time for family. It's a time for friends. It's a time for people at work to set out weird things for you to eat. We've got a fruitcake sitting out at work right now, and that one's not a problem for me. Absolutely not a problem for me. We had some really good cookies the other day, and I had to beg everybody to eat the rest of them so I would stay out of them. It's about the time that we're going to have vendors bringing us things. Wow, we've got 132 people. Yay! But it's about the time that we're going to have vendors start bringing us things, and they love to bring us things like cookies from Chick-fil-A, like the chocolate chip cookies, or we have a place here called Ham and Goodies or Litton's that make lemon cookies. They make iced lemon cookies. Let me just say, those are a problem. Those are a major problem. Did you know one Panera iced shortbread cookie is like 16 points for one cookie? That's crazy. And hey, Sheila's a first timer. So everybody say hi to Sheila. Okay, so you got to be thinking about that. So we are, we are quickly approaching 8:30. So quickly, you can go back and watch our Thanksgiving chat that's going to talk you about, okay, and the pregnant girl, Casey, the pregnant girl, just chimed in. Ham and Goodies lemon cookies are amazing. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, Casey, because we're not all pregnant. We don't get as many points as you do. And we all can't just eat whatever we want to. Okay, so what you can do, you can go back to the Thanksgiving chat and we talk about measurements. We talk about using, like this, like using your hand as a measurement. You remember this, that your fist, yeah, thank you, Cheryl, it's 8:26. Your fist is approximately a cup, so you can go back to the Thanksgiving chat and you can look at all the measurements. You can look at ways to plan around a party and things like that. But according to the weekly, and these are things that I agree with, that I definitely agree with. And hey, Kathleen. Oh, and I'm sorry, Nancy said, is Casey your daughter? Yes, Casey is my daughter. That's why I know so much about her pregnancy. So yeah, and she is housing currently for our first grandbaby, Alyssa Lily. So when you hear me talking about Casey, and here soon we'll be talking about Alyssa Lily because she's due in January, then yes, I'm talking about my daughter and my soon-to-be, well, she's already, anyway, soon grandbaby. Okay, so track what you ate. Yeah, you've got to recover from this quickly. So what if you go to a party? What if you go to a party and you blow it? Okay, you blew it. You blew one party. You didn't blow, the whole rest of the season. I don't want to hear anybody say, whoop, nope, went to the boss's big shindig, and probably ate 100 points. So forget it. I'm off. I'm headed out. I'm leaving till January. Please don't do that. What I want you to do. Yeah, and Nancy says, don't go hungry. Exactly, Nancy. What I want you to do, though, if you do go to an event like that, and if you just, lose it or have no control or really don't know where to start and you didn't watch our Thanksgiving chat, which I highly recommend going back because we talk about ways to, check that. And Barbara says she went back and checked her scoop sizes. So, yeah, that is awesome. But track what you eat. Even if you go back and track later, Cheryl, that's exactly what I started to say. Cheryl said, today I tracked the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do it. Okay, and I'm sorry, Christine said, will Alyssa be a part of the live chat like Dusty? Maybe. And it's funny because Cheryl says she can't make it live and she's going to have to listen later, but you're live right now, Cheryl. Another Cheryl. Don't know if you know that or not, but you are live with us right now. So anyway, track what you ate. It might not be as bad as you thought it was. You'll know better for next time. You might, even if it's after the fact, still track it. If you've never tracked a 100-point day, it's just because you didn't track it. I promise you, every single one of us has had a triple-digit day. I promise. And if you think you haven't, it's just because you haven't tracked it. So please go back and track it, even if you're tracking after the fact, because that, it may not be as bad as you thought it was, or, you can learn for next time. So you go ahead and start planning your next meal. So let's say you had a huge meal at your boss's house. It's your boss. And you thought, oh gosh, I can't really turn him or her down. I guess I better just eat whatever they keep putting in front of me. And you really had no control over it. Well, guess what? You have control over your next meal. That doesn't mean just, because if you ate, if your boss brought you Litton's or Ham and Goodies lemon cookies and made you eat one, that doesn't mean that your boss is going to show up at your house next time or tomorrow morning and make you keep eating that way. So go ahead and start planning your next meal. Go ahead and plan it. And Lisa said, it's just like they say, if you have one flat tire, you're not going to slash the other 3 tires. Just take a picture of it. That's a great idea, Lisa. Take a picture of it and go back and track it later. And Cheryl was reminding me that it's 8:30, so I'm going to start talking fast. Okay. Get rid of the foods that you're likely to overeat. So like the cookies that were at work, they were very delicious. They were very delicious, and I had several of them. And then I held up the container to the office, and remember, I'm the boss at work because I have a granite shop too. So I'm the boss at work, and I held up the container and I said, I need you guys to get rid of these. I need these to be gone. And almost all of them are gone. So easy enough. Get rid of the stuff that's going to be a problem for you. That fruitcake, that ain't going to be no problem. I'm not going to touch that. Not gonna touch that. And Sheila says, I hear big changes are coming and it makes it hard to learn all the new points this holiday season. Sheila, hang around, hang on. We're gonna talk about tofu for 15 minutes, and then I promise that we are going to talk about some things on the new program. So it's not gonna be hard. It's actually gonna be easier, I think, for this holiday season. I think it's actually gonna be easier for a lot of us to stay on track. So just hang with me. And let's see, check your calendar to see when the next big event is so that you can start making plans for it. And Barbara said she's got 4 flat tires. Yeah, Barbara, this is my 6th time around. It finally clicked at 6 times. Yeah, I've been doing this for 20. I had a lady today at the meeting that we crashed. She said, oh, how long have y'all been members? And I went, 23 years. Yeah, seriously. I've had flat tires. And I've had a flat tire, and I've flipped it over, flipped the wagon over, caught the wagon on fire, walked away from it, Yeah, we've all had those days. Then write down what strategies you're going to use for that next time. So whatever that next big event is, go ahead and get prepared for it now. Think about it. Think about what you're going to do, or think about what you're going to do to get back on track. If you literally have no control over it, I mean, if somebody's going to be, and I've had situations like this where people are putting food in front of me, and if I'm not eating it, they're saying, what's wrong? What's wrong with it? Why don't you like it? What's going on? Whatever. Okay, so then I'll just go ahead and plan for the next meal, or plan, leading up to it. Okay, so a couple of things that were in our weekly. One of them, this one was just like hit home so hard. It says, think again when you want to go, so everybody had this activity in their weekly. And so one of the think again things was, an unhelpful thought is, I blew it at the holiday office lunch. I'll never lose weight now. Was one lunch. I have felt that way before. I have felt that way lots of times. But one holiday lunch at the office is not going to keep you from losing weight forever. It was one meal. Write it down, take a picture of it, track it later, track it, and move on. The helpful comment was, yes, I overate at the holiday lunch, but it was one meal. See? They're smart too. One meal, and it doesn't erase all the great work I've done so far. I'll track it and move on. Track it and move on. Okay, and then the second one was, yeah, I hear this one a lot. I went way over my smart points last night at my in-laws' open house. I might as well start over next week. Do you know how many times I've done that? Oh, well, today's Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, and I blew it, so I'll wait and start next week. So what in my brain thought that it was a good idea to wait if I blew it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even if it was Saturday? What in my brain made me think that it was going to be, that it would be better just to go ahead and waste the next 6 days? I blew one meal, so let me just blow the next 6 days. Yeah, don't do that. And it says the helpful is, I did go way over my smart points last night, so I'll plan my next meal. See? Eating a healthy, low Smart Points meal will help me hold my ground. Okay, so everybody's not going to panic over the holidays, right? Whatever your holiday is. And seriously, I would love to hear, because y'all know I love to learn new things. So whatever your holiday is, be thinking about it now. You still got plenty of time, unless you tell me it's tomorrow, but you even have plenty of time before tomorrow. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about, I'm going to put you in a little secret. I'm not going to tell you everything about Freestyle, because I'm just going to give you some little teasers the last 15 minutes. So Cheryl, now I need to know when it is 8:45. Okay, so for the next few minutes, we're going to talk about something on the new program is now 0 Smart Points. 0. I'm not going to tell you everything about the new program. I promise we'll talk some about it for the last 15 minutes of tonight. And then we're going to talk about it for the entire time next week. And next week, when we do our live chat, within reason, I'm not going to say, thanks Cheryl, I'm not going to say that I'll stay on for hours and hours and hours, but next week, for as long as we can, I'm going to stay on and answer questions. Because again, I will have, digested all of this. Okay, So, okay. Oh, and Kelly says her husband joined online today, and so she got a look at it. And she's got her meeting on Thursday. Yeah. So again, I keep saying everybody be patient. I wasn't patient. I went ahead and went today, but I went ahead and went today because I needed to have a whole week of figuring this out. Again, breaking it down, figuring it apart, and getting everything ready for y'all for next week. So. But what I want to talk about is this is now 0 smart points on Freestyle. So this is tofu. And so a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about tofu, and 3 ounces of tofu was 2 smart points. A couple of weeks ago, yesterday, it was 3 ounces of tofu was 2 smart points yesterday. Today, so like this whole container right here is 4 servings. So this is 12 ounces of tofu. And so yesterday, this would have been 8. This whole container would have been 8 smart points. Okay, this entire container right now as of today, or as of when you go have your next weigh-in, that is 0 smart points now. So as soon as you go to your next weigh-in, then this will be 0 smart points. Now, I'm not expecting anybody to eat 12 ounces of tofu. You're probably not going to. If you do, we probably need to talk about other things. But the reason I wanted to bring up tofu, next week we're going to be talking about what I consider to be normal things. But there are a whole lot of people that are panicking and thinking that they don't have other alternatives, or people that are vegetarians, or even vegans that are I don't know why all of a sudden you all are freaking out. And I'm not trying to be mean. I don't understand why you're freaking out about the new program. It was funny because when we got our list today of what foods are 0 now, I was going down the list going, okay, and I'm sorry, I'm going to sidetrack for a second. Notice I said 0. So there's over 200 foods in the new program that are 0 smart points. They are not free. Please do not use the terms free. You don't have to count them, but don't use the terms free. Even though you don't have to count them and they are 0 smart points, they're not free. They all still have calories. So like the caloric amount of a Twinkie is approximately the same amount as a chicken breast, a plain chicken breast. So if you ate 1 Twinkie, that's about the same amount of calories as a chicken breast. So they're the same amount of calories, but obviously your body processes the chicken breast very differently than it processes the Twinkie. And I know a lot of people that could sit down and eat 6 Twinkies, but you're probably not going to sit down and eat 6 chicken breasts. Probably not. And it's going to take you a lot longer. So that's how things get to be 0 smart point foods. They're not free, they're 0 smart points. So tofu is 0 smart points now. So as of today, it's 0 smart points. If it's not your weigh-in day yet, if your program has not updated, so if you're not, like my weigh-in day is Tuesday, so my app will not change, my Weight Watchers app will not change until Tuesday. So I have been following Freestyle for 3 days, and I will continue following Freestyle because I know what to do. I already knew what to do, and I know what to do. Please don't switch until your phone updates or until your weigh-in day, because it's gonna mess you up. So you're gonna see all this stuff that's 0 points and go, awesome, I'm gonna eat all that I want to, and it is gonna mess you up until you find out what your plan is, and it's individualized. So it's for you. It's not for me, and it's not for her, and it's not for her. It's for you. So I don't want y'all to be afraid of tofu as an extra source of protein. It's all, everything that we've been talking about for the last, what I was going to say about my mom, though, is all these, so all you vegetarians and vegans that are panicking or not unsure what to eat, I'm looking at, I was looking at the list of 200, and I was like, well, no wonder I did so well when my mom was able to, cook for me every Saturday night, because, it's all these foods. So everything that is 0 points now, that's what my mom was feeding me gobs of on Saturday nights. And Janet says her phone changed and she lost 7 points. You really didn't lose 7 points. We'll talk about what that means next Sunday. Sorry, I'm not going to explain that this Sunday because it's too new. It's too new, and there's going to be too many people with questions. So next week, I promise we will answer that. But no, you didn't. Your points value went down by seven points per day, but you didn't lose them. They're just different. They're just named something different now. Next Sunday. That is next Sunday. So tofu. Remember when we talked about tofu a couple of weeks ago? I told you that tofu is the only plant-based protein that contains all of the essential amino acids, and those are the building blocks of protein. So I want you to be careful if you're sensitive to soy. If you've ever been told that you have a soy sensitivity, you probably don't need to eat tofu. There are lots of other kinds of plant-based proteins, but for those of you who are good to eat tofu, which is the majority of us, there are lots of things you can do with it. Tofu, again, this is, yeah, and Mary says it's Weight Watchers math. It is. And you should have seen me trying to explain it to myself earlier. That's why I'm going to wait a whole week. That's why I'm going to wait a whole week before I try and explain it, because I'm having to, it does involve math, and I'm having to explain it to myself because y'all know I'm not great at the math. So anyway, tofu is just a gelatinous blob when you get it, and it comes in silkened, it comes in soft, it comes in firm. I buy extra firm or super firm, but just a quick lesson on how to prepare it. Yeah, okay, so Barbara says tofu is like chewing on a hunk of wax because it wasn't cooked correctly. So Barbara, yeah, if you think it tastes like a chunk of wax, then it is not cooked correctly. Yeah, you need to watch what I'm going to be doing. And Betty says she's never had it. Where it is in the grocery store. So you can find it like some grocery stores have it in the produce section. Ours have, like I went to Ingles this week just because I had a chance to go to Ingles. Hardly ever get to go there, but Ingles is a more localized grocery store, I guess. So, and Janice says she's scared of it. Do not be scared of it. There's no reason to be scared of it. So at Ingles, that's just one grocery store. It is over next to the produce, and it is in a glass case like this. And when you look at it, it has, at this particular store, it has all these different kinds of tofu and different things, made out of tofu. I've seen it down in a refrigerated case. Some grocery stores have it over with the organic foods, like in the section my husband calls the, what is it, the hippie granola section. My mom used to go to the Asian market, and they have it. It doesn't have to be refrigerated sometimes. But anyway, so tofu. Okay, y'all are already like segueing to the new app. Remember, let's stay on track, okay? I'm not trying to fuss, but let's stay on track. I don't want y'all to confuse people till we get there. So tofu. So what I did with this, I did a YouTube video that I'll post. I'll try to get it posted tonight. Maybe, maybe not. For sure, get it posted by tomorrow night. But I'm going to show you how to make this. So this actually has, I don't know if you can see this or not, this actually has real rice in it, because now that the tofu, oh, and thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl says it's 8:43, so I'm going to talk real fast. Because tofu is 0 now, I used the points that I would have spent on tofu. I used them for real rice. So I'll post the video on how to make this, but the most important things to know about tofu are you've got to get, if you're using firm tofu or extra firm tofu, you've got to get, and Wendy goes, a gelatinous blob. That really makes me want to try it. Yeah, sorry. So, yes, and I'll hold it up more. So, okay. So, squeezing all the extra water out, and I'll show you how to do that on the YouTube video. So squeezing all the extra moisture out, you've got to get that done to make it cook up correctly. I have not tried it in the air fryer yet, but I'm game. So I'll try that. I'm going to be showing you all over the next few weeks, I guess. I don't want to say days because I'm not sure how much I'll get done, but I'll show y'all how to make it in the waffle iron so that it's really easy. And when you cook it in the waffle iron, it almost has the texture of like a grilled cheese. Don't ask me why. But this is, so what I did is I took the entire thing of tofu, sliced it. I can show you how to do it I'll show you how to do it in the YouTube video that I'll be posting later. And then I'll show you how to squeeze the water out of it. I'll show you how to cube it up. I'll show you how to season it, how to let it marinate, how to do that. And then to make it with the vegetables. And then again, I had it with real rice. So the rice, if I had divided this exactly in half, then I would have 4 points. I would have 4 points of rice. I would have 0 point system, I'm calling it Freestyle Smart Points. So FSPs. I'm going to call all of mine FSPs, Freestyle Smart Points. And I'm doing that because I don't want people to get mixed up if they're still doing the regular Smart Points plan. I don't want them to get messed up because this would not be the tofu would not be 0 on regular Smart Points if you were still doing that. So 4 points worth of rice, then 0 Smart Points, 0 Freestyle Smart Points for the tofu, 0 for the vegetables. I had in the whole thing, I had 4 points worth of oil, worth of toasted sesame oil, and so I divided this into 3s. So technically, it's about 5 Smart Points for this whole bowl. I mean, and look at that. That's a huge bowl, and it has real rice in it. And thank you, Cheryl says it's 8:45, so I'm going to finish this tofu part really quick. 5 to 6 Smart Points. If I had divided it exactly in half, and look, I mean, look, it's seriously, it's as big as my head, and it's delicious. So the YouTube video for that will be coming maybe tonight, more than likely tomorrow. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, it will already be posted. So, and Barbara wants to know if you can stay on the Smart Points only if you want to. You can if you just want to do it on your own. Your app will not show you old Smart Point. I mean, okay, let me just start all over again. So let's start all over again. Yeah, and Sandra says that's 2 meals for her. Yeah, Sandra, this is, okay, so this is what I ate for supper, but, oh, and Cheryl says, what is real rice? What I mean is this is real rice. It's not cauliflower rice. So and I like cauliflower rice and there's nothing wrong with it, but so normally I would have made cauliflower rice to go with this, just to save on the points. Yes, and Christine says maybe as opposed to the cauliflower rice. Correct. So still love cauliflower rice, still love it and still love it in this, but I had plenty of Freestyle Smart Points left for the day. Plenty. Are you hearing me? My points went down by 7 a day, but I still had plenty of Freestyle Smart Points left for my day, so I had real rice. So people that are panicking over their points going down, you just need to get over it because I got to have real rice because I moved to Freestyle Smart Points. Okay, so I want to say this. Let me see where I want to start. Okay, so welcome to Freestyle Smart Points. Next week, we're going to, and Sybil says she saw 2 angry faces, so hopefully those were mistakes. So welcome to Freestyle Smart Points. Next week, we're going to talk about it for the whole hour. We can talk about it for more than an hour if we need to, but welcome to Freestyle. So we're on it now. And again, 3 days in, so, you know, the only other thing I changed was for the whole week since last Sunday, I drank extra water and ate the water-filled foods and, you know, limited my sodium. But then I was on Freestyle for 3 days and I've lost 2.8 pounds. Okay, you are going to get new materials. So you're going to get a new pocket guide, which has all of the 0 point, you know, this is just like your, okay, Sheila says, how do I look up on YouTube? On YouTube, it's just youtube.com/IfYouHaveAnEgg. Or if you're on YouTube, just search If You Have an Egg. And you should be able to find it, and there's a whole series. So like you can watch the, what is that called? Playlist. So I have a whole playlist of these chats. And this is 49. Okay, so Lisa wants to know how many will you be able to roll over to your weeklies? Not talking about that this week. We're not talking about that this week. We're talking about that next week. We're not getting into that much detail this week. We have 11 minutes to talk about this. So, okay, and Lisa just said, or I'm sorry, Kelly just said 4. Okay, Kelly, thank you for sharing that. But until you get your program materials, this is where the math comes in. Please do not start this. Please do not start this until you have all of your program material. That's the math that I had to sit down tonight. Seriously, I had to sit down and do the math to wrap my head around what they were talking about. But now, you know, I get it. Okay, but anyway, so you will get new materials. You're going to get a new pocket guide if you attend a meeting. Please attend a meeting. Please, 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 pretty please, attend a meeting this week. Attend a meeting this week. So today's Sunday, attend a meeting sometime this week if you possibly can, because they're going to be giving out all the new materials. Everybody's going to be talking about it. You're going to get the most information this week. If you wait until next week, then if you wait until next, no, I know, and I'm sorry, Kelly. Kelly, I'm not fussing at you. I just know we've had so much confusion from people that their app hasn't rolled over yet, that it hasn't changed over yet. That, I mean, major amounts of confusion. So everybody just needs to stay on what they're on until your app switches over or until you attend a meeting. Yeah, a meeting. So I want everybody to attend a physical meeting this week, if at all possible. If you wait and attend next week, then you will just get the one-on-one with the Weight Watchers leader, which is not bad. I mean, one-on-one's not bad, but like we had lots of good questions. There were probably, gosh, I don't know. Sonia, if you're still here, how many people do you think were there today? Like 45 maybe, 45 to 50 people. So they had lots of good questions, lots of good ideas. Couple of them asked things that I never thought about. And I do want to apologize to Deborah if she's here. So I saw Deborah at the meeting. This is not a meeting that I normally go to. And Gwen told a funny story. She was writing out name tags for people today since there were so many people that are not normally there. And she wrote, made a name tag for Diane. Then she was writing herself a name tag and wrote Diane again and put it on her shirt. Well, she still told the story about the Diane and Diane, that then Deborah, who I know Deborah, she asked a question, and then I said, yeah, Diane asked such and such, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got in the car later, I was like, why did I say Diane? Her name's Deborah. Anyway, Deborah, if you're here, I'm so sorry. Okay. So I'm really seriously going over the very basics, because I want everyone to attend a meeting. Please do not glean all of your information off of Facebook. Please do not glean all of your information off of YouTube or the internet or whatever. If you can, attend a meeting. So the new materials, you're going to get a pocket guide. And if you're online only, yes, you can attend one meeting. You can attend one meeting for free. Just please, please, please let them know when you go in that you are a guest, so that they know that you're a guest. Then, and they can record you accordingly. Record you accordingly. And if you go to one meeting, if you pay for a meeting this week, you can attend a second meeting if you want to. But anyways, you're going to get a new pocket guide. You got one of these when you first joined. I think they were green. You're going to get a new pocket guide, and that has all of the new zero smart. Notice how quickly I showed you that. That has all the new zero smart point foods in it. Then you're going to get a book, and yes, I know they're backwards. YouTube people, don't call me, don't text me, don't write. You're going to get a new book called Introducing Freestyle, and the Introducing Freestyle has what you need to know about. It has a welcome. It talks about smart points. Excuse me. Suddenly parched. Okay, it talks about smart points and what didn't change about smart points. It talks about tracking being your key to success. The good thing is, or the good news is, you don't have to track the new 0 point foods if you don't want to, but I am going to, thank you, Sheila, but I am going to still track even the 0 point foods, so that, and Kelly says she lives in Scott County, and she's going to have to wait until the community meeting is Thursday because she's not driving to Knoxville. Kelly, it's not that far. Knoxville's not that far. My husband drives to Carrollville. I know that's not Scott County, but he drives to Carrollville every day. Anyway, let's see. And Carol says, if you're online only and go to a meeting, will they give you the material? You could probably pay for one. My guess is that you could pay for one meeting and get the material. That's my guess. And Melanie's here, maybe for just a minute, but Melanie's here. Okay, so it talks about tracking. So I am going to keep tracking, even though, and Judy says she does it when she's doing Simply Filling. So yeah, I'm going to keep tracking, because then if I had a good week, I can go back and see, hey, these are the things that I had, and this was a great week. Hey, Melanie. And Or if you have a bad week, you can go back and say, ooh, okay, those are the things I want to do differently. They talk about going to meetings to get, some real life guidance and to get everything. You'll still get weeklies. You'll get another weekly. It talks about digital tools, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But anyway, so you're going to get all of that in the new Introducing Freestyle book. You're going to get another booklet called Shift Your Mindset. And it does have some really good things like reality checks, being kind to yourself. It has some good, things to read in there. Do what moves you. So just because we're moving to freestyle doesn't mean that you can stop exercising. If you're physically able, you need to keep exercising. So it talks about activity, it talks about activity levels, it talks about fit points, it talks about all that again. And let's see. Then they have this little one. This is called, it's the Grocery and Dining Out Plan. And because they want you to be able to live. It says, the very first page, even though it's backwards, the very first page says live the plan, because they want you to be able to live on this plan. Melissa didn't get a Shift Your Mindset or the activity books. Well, ask for them. They've got to have them. Ask for them. It's got frequently asked questions about the new program. Like how will 0 points foods make the program more flexible? How do rollovers work? Rollovers, we'll talk about those later. How do I work the Weight Watchers Freestyle program when dining out? So it's got lots of frequently asked questions in it. Then it has some branded foods and their new Smart Points, if the Smart Points change. So it's, Smart Points values for some commonly tracked grocery items. So what they did is they just took our, that Big Brother's watching, they took all of our app data, all the data that's out here, and the things that get tracked the most often, they went through and did the Smart Points on them. So they have a lot of things in here like, let me find something, like a Hostess cupcake is 8 Smart Points. Yuck. Yeah, so they did some of those things. So then they went through and there's some cereals in here and some muffins and sandwich thins and things like that. Things that are frequently tracked. We'll talk about the calculators in just a second. I see y'all talking about calculators. We'll talk about those in just a second. You also get an Eat What You Love book. And the Eat What You Love book has lots of meal ideas. And so they have a meal builder. So if you don't know where to start, then you can go to the meal builder and see, well, you can get lots of good recipes in here. And then like this meal builder, you start with 2 ingredients, you stir in these ingredients, you flavor it with this, and then you top it with this. And so it has, seriously, lots of meal ideas. So, yeah, I know, and the cover is fabulous, yeah. So, yeah, she said it's so good. So that one is the cover recipe is rosemary chicken with fresh tomato and balsamic sauce. Okay, so Karen and I were drooling over this one in the meeting, but on the new Freestyle, okay, look at that. Look how much food this is. On the new Freestyle plan, that's 1 Smart Point. 1 Smart Point. One on the new plan. I don't know if it says what it was. Does anybody know what it was on regular Smart Points? So on Freestyle Smart Points on FSP, which is what I'm calling it, on FSP, that is 1 Smart Point per serving. So, yeah. So I don't want to hear any squawking about points going down, because the points are also going down. And then the last thing that you get, 2 more things, only if you're on maintenance. So, okay, I'm on maintenance. So I got an all about maintenance booklet, yeah, so it just talks about maintenance things and how much to add. I'm sorry, I'm a little warm. How much to add, how many points to add per day for maintenance. And then you also get the weekly for this week is Freestyle and your food plan. So this is what we'll be talking about next Sunday. So next Sunday, live from Disney, that's what we'll be talking about. Okay, so again, attend a meeting. And Betty, I'm really not sure about about getting all that if you're a guest. I think if you probably, how many books you get all together. Let's see. I got a weekly, which doesn't really count as a book. And I got a pocket guide, which is 1, Introducing 2, Shift Your Mindset 3, Do What Moves You 4, Grocery 5, and Eat What You Love 6. So it looks like I got 6. If I don't count the weekly, it looks like I got 6 6 books altogether. So, and then the weekly, of course, you get a weekly when you go. Okay, so to answer some questions, do attend a meeting if you can. Your app, if you're online, or if you have a monthly pass, or if you're doing e-tools, or all of the above, your app will update on your weigh-in day this week and not before. I weighed in today. I went to an extra meeting, a different meeting today, and I weighed in today. My app will not change until Tuesday because Tuesday is my weigh-in day. So I've been doing this manually. Let's see. Eddie says he can't see the cards. Hold them up longer. Eddie. The cards, these, you can't see these. These are booklets. So yeah, and there's 6 of them all together. So, okay. Yeah, and Betty wants to know, how much do you need to pay to get the paper books if you are an online member? I don't know. That's, tell you what, I'll try to find out. Y'all know I love to ask questions, and I'm not afraid to ask questions. So I will find out, and I'll let y'all know in a day or two. I will post it here on the group so that we can, yeah, you're welcome, Melanie. I'll post them here on the group so that everybody can have the answer to that. But again, your app's not going to update until your weigh-in day. So when the app updates, because they've been playing at this, I hate to call it playing at this, but because they've been practicing on leaders and people within Weight Watchers, because they've been practicing on them for a while, then all the food on the app is supposed to be updated. It's supposed to be updated to the new Smart Points. So all the food is supposed to be updated. They're still working on the restaurant point values because they have a lot of the restaurant food. If it had points before and the points went down, they're having to go extract the things that the points are 0 now. So all the food should be, this is what I've been told, is that if you walk up and scan something, like if you walked up and scanned, so like on Tuesday, if I scanned this tofu, it should say 0. So, yeah, but they're working on the restaurant ones. Okay, and then, let's see. Yep, and Joy said she's getting ready to rejoin, and this would be a good time. Yeah, I think it would be a great time. So, a couple of other things before I tell you the best part, and it's already 9:02. Sorry about that. Y'all are going to have to stay on here for a few more minutes. Don't forget, we're having a live question and answer session. I know these are always live on Sunday nights, but next Sunday night is going to be a live question and answer session about anything and everything I can find out about the new program. So hold your questions until then. Do go to a meeting. As far as my blog goes, and that's www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. As far as my blog goes, I just got all the program materials. I just got all the new Smart Points. So what I'll be doing is starting at the newest recipes first and then working my way backwards. And Julie just joined us. It's probably because she was out getting those last 15,000 or however many steps in today. But anyway, so I'll start with the newest recipes and then I'll update them going backwards. I'm not going to pretend like I will get every single one of them updated because that's, 3 years worth of recipes. And it's just me. There's nobody else, and there's other things I want to do. Like the next 15 recipe cards are ready, recipe card swap cards, whatever, are ready to go out. So the next 15, and y'all keep watching because it's going to be winding up here in the next couple of days, so be watching for your names. But the next 15, I'll try to get those out tomorrow, but for sure they'll be going out Tuesday. But anyway, and I'm going to do them in, I'm going to sidetrack for a second. I'll be doing them in clumps of names. So I can't announce them individually like we have been in the past. There'll be clumps of names. So the next 15 of you all will be clumped, 15 people together. So if your name's not first, keep reading. So, okay. And somebody explained the recipe cards to Joyce, so, because I got to keep talking. Okay, so let's see. So I'll be updating my recipe, starting with the newest ones first, and then going to the, as far as I can go back, because I don't want to bog it down and not be able to put any new ones on. But remember, I'll be calling them FSPs. So, for example, on the, if I do a new, if I go back and switch one of my recipes, let's say if it was 2 Smart Points, but now if it's 0 on the new plan, then it'll say 2018, I'm going to go ahead and call it 2018, or like 2018 Freestyle Smart Points Update, 0 FSP, so that if you choose to manually stay on the regular Smart Points, that then you'll know that, or if you're on the new one with us, that FSP, Freestyle Smart Points, you'll know that that one is a 0 one. And Kathy, I think, said, oh, where will the names be shown for the cards? So it's not a video when your index cards go out. It's not a video. It'll just be a post, and it'll just say, hey, following people, your index cards are going out, blah 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 blah, and what day it is. Okay, and let's see, all the new 0 point foods again were things that my mom was already feeding me. And oh, and there's Debbie. Debbie is very late, and Debbie, we talked about you a lot at the beginning, so now you have to go back and watch the first of it. And Debbie was at SeaWorld for the Christmas programs. Yay! Okay, so let's see. Oh, and somebody's saying boo about the card swap, but I promise we'll do another card swap. I've got to get this one done and to bed, and I'm changing the rules next time, because this is about killed me. It's just about killed me and Casey, and it's not over. It's like it won't die, but anyway. Okay, but anyway, so oddly enough, there are over 200 new 0 point foods now on the new FSP, and they're all things that my mom, Vegan Nana, was feeding me. So no wonder I always did well the weeks that I ate with her. Okay, let's see. Don't forget about the chat next week. And so I have one little list to go over. Okay, so Weight Watchers, remember, okay, I told everybody, I said, be patient, and remain calm. Those were my two biggest things for you all leading up to this, was to be patient. I promise your day will come. I promise your day will eventually be here. If it wasn't today, if it wasn't tomorrow, if it's not Tuesday, I promise it will eventually be here. So anyway, so be patient, and then also to remain calm. So I promise Weight Watchers they're not doing anything that, promise they're not doing anything that's going to hurt us. So the things that they kept what works. And Joyce, I'm not giving away any secrets. And cottage cheese, ugh, can't stand it anyway. Okay, so they kept what works, and what works is Smart Points. So they kept Smart Points. They are calculated exactly the same way. They're calculated exactly the same way that they were before. So that means your calculator will work. So everybody, calm down. If you have a calculator, your calculator will still work. Also, best news, nothing went up. 0. This many foods. 0 foods went up in Smart Points. None of them went up. So again, people, I've been watching these girls on the UK, and if there's anybody here from the UK, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry to be saying this, but my gosh, you know, they were squalling. I mean, absolutely squalling about stuff, about, you know, my points went down and porridge didn't go down and whatever. Okay, but nothing went up. No foods went up. 200 foods. 200 foods that we've been counting this whole time. For 23 years, I've been counting them. 200 foods went to 0 Smart Points. I'm pumped. I'm pumped, and I'm super excited. Okay, it's still your choice how you spend your daily budget. And Betty asked how Casey is. Betty, she's doing great. And actually, I'm going to sidetrack again. Casey had her maternity pictures today, and I'm sorry, I'm adjusting something. She had her maternity pictures done today, and we'll post them in the closed group, probably not here on the public one, but it was really, you know, cool. And Judy says she wishes avocados and nuts had gone down. I know, but we can't have everything. Okay, yeah, me too. So you're still in control of how you spend your budget. And it's your choice. So if you want to eat all 0 point foods, for all day, and then have whatever your new Smart Point allotment is for dessert before you go to bed, you can do that. It's still your choice. It's your choice. Nobody's telling you what to eat. So that's still a good thing. So they kept what works. Most vegetables are free, and more vegetables are free now than before. Not things like potatoes, so don't get excited about potatoes, but I'll let you in that corn and peas. If it's not your day, if you haven't been to your meeting yet, shh, don't tell anybody, but corn and peas. I told John today that corn had gone to 0, and he loves my candy corn recipe. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he was super excited because he was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have corn every day. Okay, healthy eating, keeping your focus on healthy eating. So a healthy eating mindset. They're still going for that healthy eating mindset, which is awesome. And they still want us to focus on activity. So the things that were working, things that were already working, they kept. They didn't change any of that stuff. The things that are new, there's added flexibility. So you can, it's more flexible. The program is more flexible now. You have more 0-point foods. Again, there's over 200 new 0-point foods. And Lisa says, should we rinse those first? No, you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to let you know one other thing, even if you haven't been to your meeting yet. You know how I was having everybody drain and rinse fruit, even if it was in its own juice? You don't have to anymore. Okay. And there's a new thing, and we're not going to talk about this, so I'm just going to drop a little bomb on you, and then we're going to close. Now there's a new thing called rollover points. Rollover points do not replace your weeklies. So nobody get your knickers in a wad about that. I know, and Cheryl goes, take a drink, Kelly. She can tell I'm choking. But we are wrapping up, so I am going to stop and chug this water when we get done. But, and yes, Trina said, do they give a list of all the new 0 foods? When it's your weigh-in day, you will be able to go to WeightWatchers.com, and it will let you in on your weigh-in day. So wait until your weigh-in day, and you can look up all of the new 0-point foods. And also, it is in let me find that booklet again, and it's also in this. Now, I had to ask for this. They weren't giving these out. They weren't just freely handing these out at the meeting. These were for new people, and since I aren't new people, they weren't just handing them out. But ask for one. I asked and I said, may I pretty please have one of the pocket guides? And we were given one. Okay, so is everybody going to be here next week? Everybody going to be here next week? I won't be here. I'll be in Orlando next week. But is everybody going to, if you're going to attend the chat next week, do a thumbs up. And Casey says the Southern drawl strikes again. What did I say? Okay, so I want to see everybody here next Sunday. Again, we'll be in Orlando. If you're in the Orlando area, just let me know ahead of time. Let me know ahead of time if you want to come. John got me a new toy. And we're going to be playing with it at the campground. It's something to take camping. And Sonia, if you're still here, because I said I aren't new people. Sonia, if you are, Nancy says, good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. You're right, Nancy. Yeah, that we'll be there. So Sonia, if you're here, or if we have any other campers, people who like to camp here, or people who just like to rough it, what John got me is going to be great for camping. Of course, we haven't tried it yet, but I've been watching YouTube videos on it. But yeah, so if you are in the Orlando area, and if you did want to come by, you're going to have to private message me so that I can let you know where we're at, and try to be there a little bit early, but we'll talk about that later. So everybody come next week. Everybody's going to attend a meeting, right? A meeting. Everybody, all of you are going to try and attend a meeting this week. Yeah, Sylvia, you'll have to watch next week to see what he got me, because I don't physically have it here yet. It isn't here yet. Okay, so I'm expecting to see everybody next Sunday night. Bring a friend. We got up to 130 something people today, and would that not be fun if for our 50th chat, if we could get over 200 people. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we will be having a giveaway. Yeah, don't know what it's going to be yet. I've got some ideas. But so next week, we're going to have, I know what it's going to be, but I'm trying to figure out how to give it. But anyway, so next week is our 50th, and our 50th chat, and I'll be giving away something really special. So you'll have to watch. Okay, and you have to be live to win. You have to be with us live to win, for a chance to win. But anyway, so everybody have a great week. Everybody remain calm again. This program is looking awesome. I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to make Christmas a lot easier because you're going to have the freedom to eat some things. And with the rollover, not going to tell you what they are yet, but with the rollover points, I think you're really gonna enjoy it. Oh, and of course Tedder said, "Where's Dusty? Dusty, come here." He's sleeping. He's so lazy. Hold on a second. Oh, and Joyce, the blog address is www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, and I'll grab Dusty real quick. Hold on. Here, buddy. I'm coming. Okay, so when we used to sit upstairs in the loft and do the chat, Dusty was always in my lap. So it was easier for, yep, here he is, Betty. So it was easier for me to, and see, and he loves tofu too. So he is smelling what is in my bowl. He is very interested what's in the bowl because the bowl with the stir-fried tofu is sitting right in front of him. But anywho, so, and they're saying hi to you, buddy. But anyway, so everybody say goodnight. We're gonna go ahead and head off. I'm gonna go get this posted, and this will be on YouTube here in just a few minutes, and then when I get the transcriptions done, they'll be on the blog. But anyway, good night, everybody. Y'all have an awesome week. And yeah, Mary says vegan Dusty. He would eat like that. He loves vegetables. But anyway, everybody have an awesome week, and enjoy your first week on Freestyle. So good night, everybody. I'll see you next week. Remember, you gotta be there to win. Good night.